How does the environment affect epigenetics and PTSD? Have you ever wondered how our surroundings can shape our mental health? One fascinating area of study is the connection between the environment, epigenetics, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder, often known as PTSD, is a complex condition that arises from both genetic factors and environmental influences, particularly traumatic experiences. The environment plays a significant role in PTSD through epigenetic mechanisms. These mechanisms regulate how genes are expressed without changing the actual DNA sequence. Environmental factors such as stress, trauma, and even early life experiences can trigger epigenetic changes. These changes can influence an individual's risk of developing PTSD and their ability to cope with stress. There are several key mechanisms involved in epigenetics. One is DNA methylation, where methyl groups are added to DNA, potentially silencing certain genes. Another is histone modification, which involves chemical changes to proteins that help package DNA. Lastly, non-coding RNA molecules can also play a role in regulating gene expression after the DNA has been transcribed. When someone experiences trauma, it can lead to changes in the brain, particularly in areas involved in stress response and emotional regulation. For instance, trauma can alter DNA methylation patterns in genes related to the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which is crucial for managing stress. This alteration can lead to the dysregulation often seen in PTSD. Research indicates that the most significant effects on the risk of developing PTSD come from the interaction between genetic predispositions and environmental factors, mediated by epigenetic changes. This means that while genetics may set a baseline for susceptibility, environmental influences like trauma can leave lasting marks on the genome, affecting how genes are expressed and, consequently, how PTSD develops and manifests. Early life experiences are particularly impactful. Epigenetic modifications that occur during childhood can create lasting changes in gene expression, influencing how individuals respond to stress throughout their lives. Studies in animals have shown that different strains of mice, which have varying stress susceptibilities, display distinct epigenetic and behavioral responses after experiencing trauma. This highlights the role of epigenetics in both vulnerability and resilience. From a neurobiological standpoint, understanding how trauma affects epigenetics provides insight into how these experiences become embedded in our biology, influencing brain function and behavior in PTSD. This also explains why PTSD can present differently in different individuals. Variations in epigenetic responses to similar traumatic experiences can lead to diverse clinical presentations. Recognizing the environmental impact on epigenetics in PTSD can inform personalized treatment and prevention strategies. It emphasizes the importance of early interventions and supportive environments to potentially reverse or lessen harmful epigenetic changes. However, while the field of epigenetics is promising, it is essential to understand that it is still evolving. Current knowledge does not support replacing established PTSD treatments with unproven therapies targeting epigenetic mechanisms. In summary, the environment significantly affects PTSD through epigenetic modifications that change gene expression in response to trauma and stress. These changes illustrate the complex interplay between genetic predisposition and environmental factors, shaping individual risks, resilience, and symptoms in PTSD. Understanding this relationship aligns with the neurobiological impact of trauma and offers a scientific foundation for exploring targeted interventions in trauma recovery and healing. Always consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice and treatment options.